6E. We did not have any changes from the first motion we passed. Councillor
Second
Selk.
reading of bylaw 1649H, electricity distribution bylaw.
Thank you very much. Very, very, very minimal. Councillor,
Make a motion to third reading on bylaw 1649H, electrical distribution bylaw.
thank you. All in favor? Thank you.
Brown wants me to try one more time here for this discussion. Why did you drop them? Whether she's by the airport or what's
She's in her room.
so it keeps dropping them.
I'm here.
Okay.
Good. Councillor, we're ready to discuss 7A. By the way, regarding the remuneration policy, we have asked administration to make revision to the policies, and then you'll be able to see that at the next meeting, okay?
Sounds great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I apologize. I'm in a hotel and parking structures, and I'm in and out of coverage here, so.
It's okay. We're going to
Sorry.
We're going to try to be quick with this one. Councillor Drew is going to talk about the Ag Society letter request. And that request had to do with, could we give them a letter that would give them a sense of security regarding the future of the use of that building?
So I had a discussion with the chair, and they want to
Mark Hagee?
Yeah, they want to
Okay.
put some money into the Agrodome. Things are going fairly well. They're running things well. They're making money. They have money in the bank, that kind of stuff. And the discussion that I had with him today was basically, as a council, if we agreed to do this, I couldn't see it going past 2 years, because in 2 years we could have a new mayor and new council, and they wouldn't have that guarantee. So he's looking, the society's looking for us to, I guess, squash the rumors of we're going to be using their building as a rec center. That was in a closed meeting. That shouldn't have happened, but that person directly went to Mark right after that meeting and talked to him. So that's kind of what happened. So,
All right, so all is not exactly a hunky-dory in their governance. It's okay. Councillors, please discuss that. When you have an organization that is trying to develop a business plan for the future, that needs security regarding what's the use of the building, which is in our name. That's normal, that's logical, and it's a form of respect to that organization. Otherwise, I may as well fold.
I would suggest it be like any lease. If you're going to pull the plug, so to speak, you give them a year or 2 year notice. You don't do it in 3 months. As for guaranteeing anything, I'm not really in favor of that, but I would understand that we give them certainly enough time to make other plans if we ever had that idea. And right now, we don't even have that idea, so.
I've been in business. I wouldn't want to have someone who tell me, well, you always, think about it twice, but carry on making improvement. I wouldn't do
But we
that.
can't. 2 years is maximum, because we might not
Well,
be
2
on-
years makes sense, right?
to me, that makes sense.
2 years
Sorry.
makes sense, yes. Councillor Selk, what
End
would
of
be
our term.
your position?
Oh, I want to hear Councillor Brown's position.
Councillor Brown? Okay, fill us in.
Sorry, did that pick up?
Yeah, it did.
Is it okay if I talk, Mayor?
Absolutely, go for it.
I would just say, I understand where they're coming from. I do agree that I think there's no way we could even say more than 2 years, because none of us will probably be here in 2 years, so that's quite reasonable.
Making an announcement.
Or some of us might not be.
And that's a better answer.
Right, sorry. My personal opinion is very similar to what Councillor Court said, and that is, we're not talking about taking over the Agrodome. We never have, as long as we've been put in. So the fact that there's hearsay, there's always going to be hearsay. No matter what, whether we put it in writing or not, people are going to talk. Is that going to make them talk any less? I don't know.
Well, at least I could read that at their AGM and say that's a position of the town. It might be the right place to read that letter.
Okay.
But they have been told, sorry, Mayor, if I can.
Go ahead, please.
They have been told in years past that, because I represented the town on that board, we did say that we weren't doing anything. We've said it a million times that there are no plans
But
for
Black,
doing anything there.
yeah, they want it in writing. I don't blame them.
Okay. I would just recommend that if there's an appetite for this council to give them a letter saying, for the next 2 years, we have no plans to do anything with the Agrodome, so fill your boots. Or
Yeah.
words to that effect.
Your boots.
Yeah,
Fill your,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so, and go ahead with your project.
And maybe,
Okay,
maybe add
Councillor
into
Crowe.
that anything further than this would have to come from another council.
Agreed.
Yeah, there would have to be renegotiation with
Yeah.
future councils.
Okay, so we are assuming that we have no other plans, hospital or otherwise, for that property.
No, we don't.
Not in the next 2 years for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything would happen.
No,
I'm good.
no,
I'd say
No.
the life of this council, I wouldn't go past that.
Yeah.
yeah.
You can tell them that.
Okay, Councillor Bengry, are you okay with extending 2 years? Okay, so that's the answer, Councillor Drew, that you can bring back. There will be a forthcoming letter of council and talking about situation regarding the use of that building for them to invest money if they so wish.
So fill your boots and spurs for that matter.
There you go. I'm going to write that down.
Thank you so much, Councillor Brown, and enjoy your conference.
I will. Thank you.
Edmonton,
You're welcome.
What a beautiful place.
Thank you. Bye. Okay. Thank you, councillors. So, do you need a motion to direct you?
Make a resolution, we'll bring it back for approval for the next
Want me to make
meeting.
that
Please
resolution?
go
that
ahead, Councillor Drew.
We write a letter of support for the next 2 years to the Ag Society that we won't be using that or taking that building back, or however the proper word would be.
That the town has no intent.
Intention to do
take
that
it.
for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Are you going to add in there any further? Would have to be come from the next council.
But after 2 years, I will understand.
Yeah, and I'll have that conversation because I have an AGM
Yeah,
on Thursday
okay.
with them, so.
Go ahead.
Could I add one kind of additional piece to this? We have a draft agreement between the Ag Society and the town.
Yeah.
It hasn't been ratified by
Right.
either party, frankly. What we didn't do on there was add clauses as far as notice.
Exit,
As
and we
council.
should.
We could give them, I mean, it's not gonna be 5 years,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
could say, you give them a year,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, notice before they would
Yeah.
be asked to vacate the building or something,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Right. Yeah.
we could give them some comfort in the
Right.
lease.
it should be an exit,
Yeah.
exit clause. If there is none, there should be one.
Yeah.
I agree.
So we could draft it into there.
Yeah, something like if the town decided to utilize the building,
Yeah.
you'd have a year to,
Minimum
yeah,
notice of,
whatever.
to arrange, wrap
Right.
up your affairs, or to find a new accommodation. Or
Right, exactly. I appreciate that.
Fill your boots and.
All right, 7B, Councillor Barnes, you're on hook.
Okay, where's my stuff? Okay.
It's regarding the CARES program,
Yeah,
regarding tourism
Okay,
initiative.
so
and
Bev Thornton from Southwest, the CAO, sent this email to us and explained that they're pulling together a regional CARES application, and it says they have a very short timeline.
Thank you.
And wanted us to be able to give them a letter of support for that.
Yeah, I read it.
No
And
financial.
some background, the province has a goal of increasing tourism revenue to $20 billion over the next 10 years, and Alberta Southwest will be leading a collaborative CARES application proposing how our region can help with that goal by identifying new business and investment opportunities and further promoting the variety of experiences, attractions, and opportunities in the region. The town of Pincher Creek and Community Futures Crow's Nest Pass will contribute some matching funds to augment resources from Alberta Southwest. As it furthers some tourism goals they also wish to accomplish, and we can all benefit from combining our resources. They're just looking for a letter of support. Will not require financial support from you, just an indication that the project is relevant to the needs of your community, chamber, organization, and tourism businesses, and that you'd be excited to participate in the learning and development opportunities.
Perfect.
Councillor Selk?
Was include a pitch for a 24-hour port in Carway to help with that goal of $20 billion?
I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great
Never
idea.
miss a
And
beat, do you, Councillor?
Yeah.
Keep her going.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so you're aware, since you have brought that idea forward, every meeting we have a round table. Every meeting I pitch the 24-hour port.
Okay, good.
Keep
Okay.
on doing it.
I do. Every
Bring your
meeting.
bugle next time.
But I would propose that we send them a letter of support for this CARES application.
Okay, questions? All in favor? It's not a bad thing. If
Thank
we
you.
can move money our way, it's always a good thing.
Continue to the Alberta Southwest. Could we get a report from Bev Thornton at one of council meeting on what they are proposing for this immediate area? I know they work on a lot of Crow's Nest Pass, Pincher Creek area, but I want to know what they're doing for our area.
See, in our area, one of the greatest initiative was a broadband. It was the designing of the whole of the broadband connections. They want to know that. And we got a report. It's really was what we have, and what we have is a license, a business license. It is a regional business license. And if you remember, when we dropped from Alberta Southwest, we had all the businesses, individuals that travel from community to community. They were incensed and really ticked off at having dropped off, because for them it was cutting on in their livelihood. And it is true that there are quite a few independent business people who purchase that license in order to do work here and there and everywhere, be it ATCO, be it Chief Mountain, be it individual contractors. And so that is a benefit to many people in our town.
Well,
So that is one benefit.
And they pushed the charging station.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I was going to bring that.
the-
Also, I was going to say that the Crown of the Continent is something that they're really pushing as well, to get tourism to come into this area, into Cardston. We go through Cardston into Waterton and into the Head Smashed Inn. All these areas are all included. They talk a lot about the Remington Carrot Center, bringing tourism into our town. So they do quite a bit. They do quite a bit. And I try to put some of those things in my report each time with each meeting as well.
it's not easy to define, and councillors, sometimes I realize with the reader that you have to have a vision that is a little bit further than your own town, and that's a little hard to sell.
Yeah,
It's a hard sell when you have to spend the taxpayers' money.
yeah. I know one of the things I did put in my report here that Bev mentioned that, see, there was on a Community Achievement Awards night in Willow Creek, and they had a great turnout, and I can't remember the last time we ever had something like that in our community. They had a fireman's ball, and they raised a lot of funds, and a lot of people
Wait, is that,
were
does that
there.
have a fireman?
When was the last time we had a fireman's ball here?
Oh, gosh,
I
about
can't
3
remember
years
either.
ago or something.
You know, so, you know, there's not just saying the firemen, I'm saying
Christmas.
lots of different areas that are a possibility that we could have Community Achievement Awards nights and have a nice supper and charge a fee to get into that, and then have a guest speaker. And I mean, they used to have in Lethbridge, remember the Sportsman's Ball at the banquet they used to
Well,
have, and that was a great thing.
We
I
used
don't
to
do
have
it
that.
anymore.
We used to have that, the FCSS put that banquet on every year,
Yeah,
and that's what that was for.
yeah, but they cut doing it, so
It's all right, Mayor. Bite your tongue.
anyways.
Well,
just-
that's something that I was not happy when we lost it, to
That's
tell
right.
the truth. I was not
Volunteer
happy at
appreciation.
all.
To extend till the cows come home.
We say 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
So the cows are coming home?
9 o'clock.
The cows come home.
All right, so here, let's go on the 8, committee and other,
Call a question.
oh, I'm so sorry.
That was the motion to extend
Motion, the letter.
I didn't hear.
till the cows come home, but I'll
All
accept
in
9
favor?
o'clock.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was already that close to that time.
1 minute
Thank
till.
you. Okay, under 8, committee and other reports, thank you for those who put committee reports. I know December is going to be probably a month without very much of anything except suppers here and there.
Just for our information, the one wasn't sent in from the History Society, but I talked to them about the increasing contributions the town is making. Apparently, when this was sold to them for $1, it was put that they are guaranteed $5,500 a year. And they quoted the exact spot, so
I
apparently
want to
we're on the
believe
hook.
it, but now we're 2,000 above that.
200 above it.
Or 200, sorry.
That 5,500 didn't even start until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Whenever it was, but it's.
Yeah, that's new though, the 5,500.
But I thought they said when Marion was still on that it was signed in.
No,
I don't know.
I can't remember
It's, I
that.
think it's in there because they quoted us whatever it was for
Well,
me.
you can-
Somebody
can-
did the homework on that.
Can you ask them to kind of,
Well, the summer staff
Pull that out.
quadruples that amount, so,
Yeah.
There you go.
not too worried.
I'm just
about
throwing that
it.
out there. That's
Thank
they
you.
nailed me on that real fast. Well, it's guaranteed because they put it in when they sold the building for $1, that the town would contribute.
oh,
Check it out. Check that out.
Okay.
yeah, in case if we don't find it, ask them to
They-
give you that.
that'd be the-
Capital projects report, thanks Jeff for including that. Strategic priority reports, you could see in red, Jeff has outlined the items that he's working on. 8D, CAO report, as you can see, is not busy.
You know, napping every day, it's good.
Thank you. All right, so under 10, there's some correspondence. Miss Julia Froelich, now that's an interesting kind of letter. It's regarding the mapping of the creek and the floodplain, etc. So if you could see in her letter on the back of the paper, there is a detail of what they have accomplished, what they want to accomplish, and so if they're in early stage, late stage, or whatever. So they are thinking that by the spring of 2020, it should be totally completed.
That's good.
So the next one, Mr. Gerry Sandberg, Municipal Affair, notification of change. How do we love those notifications?
This one's interesting, because we just did a municipal census, and now
Yeah.
they're saying, we're not gonna care anymore.
In other words, they're going to go back reverting the per capita as per the census, which was flawed, because it's very convenient and it's a saving to them.
They're just going to estimate populations from
Yeah,
now
they're just
on.
doing population estimates, that's right.
So essentially, we need to wait to see what the formula is going to be. They're working with Stats Canada for that. So I'll be kind of curious to see what they come up with and where we fare. 10C, Government Finance Officers Association, so report on a budget. So just from Jeff. And then 10D, Brownlee, the famous bear pit in February, sometime at the beginning of February. February the 6th.
February the 6th.
So maybe think about it.
There's no agenda out yet.
We don't really know if it's worth going or not. In general, we have enjoyed ourselves going there. But we need to wait a little bit to see if it's relevant to what we need to do. And
Once
as
we see
for-
the agenda, that'll give us a better idea.
Yeah, right now it's a little too early. I know in general we like to go to that one.
Yeah.
So confidential items, it's going to be taken care of now. So we want to thank the media are going into
Closed session.
closed session.
Make that motion.
Motion first.
Who is doing the motion?
I'll make the motion to go
Yeah.
closed session.
All in favor? Thank you very much. Thank you to the media. Thank you so much.
Jeff, do you want these budgets back?
We were full of wind today.
Budget time.
Budget time, always full of